You left? You said you were gonna be gone for a while.
What do you mean what's wrong? What do you mean what's wrong?
What's that? Why are you looking like that? What's wrong with you? I'm asking again because evidently there's something wrong.
What you think was wrong? Huh? What you think's wrong?
What's that?
You wanna know what this is? Huh? This is what this is. You wanna know what this is? Huh? You wanna know what this is?
God!
Well, you know what? What is that?
That's my phone.
And? Who you texting?
Texting nobody.
Huh? Who you texting?
I was reading the Bible.
The Bible?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh God.
Oh God?
Jesus.
Well, let me ask you this.
Jesus.
Is your God
Jesus, save me.
Is your
Oh
God
God.
gonna save you when I pull this
Jesus.
trigger? Huh?
Jesus.
I was just joking, baby. Why don't we go grab a bite to eat?
No, you know, the first time you did that, I thought maybe you, but this is the second time that you've pulled a gun on me.
Well, you know I love you, baby. Let's just go grab a bite to eat and let's forget about it all.
You gotta put that gun away. I love you too, but you gotta put that gun away.
I said, let's go get a bite to eat.
Hi, I'm Renee Jones. You can call me Hope. Welcome to the PSA for Domestic Violence Awareness video. We are a group of women who volunteered to share our experience, strength, and hope with you. We are survivors and advocates for domestic violence. Again, thank you, and we hope you enjoy this video.
While I was married for 13 and a half years, I think about how in my mind, while I was married, I never considered myself to be a victim of domestic violence. In my mind, I always thought that the good days outweighed the bad. And because I didn't have visible bruises every week or every month or even every other month, I assumed that I was okay. There were no visible bruises, and that included my heart. And it took so long for me to realize that the scars that were in my heart were the ones that took the longest to heal. I realized that the person that I depended on to keep me safe was the one that I really needed to be protected from. It took me a long time to realize that my breaking point didn't have to match or didn't have to be comparable to somebody else's. My abuser never, not that there is a valid reason to abuse anyone, but he never abused me because he caught me cheating or because I was cheating or because I used his money or even because I ever talked back to him. He never had a justifiable reason. I remember one time he took me behind these abandoned buildings and put a gun to my head and told me that he would blow my brain out. And after that whole episode, he finally admitted to me that the reason he did that was because I looked at him wrong. I wonder what that look was about.
1 in 10 high school students have been purposely hit, slapped, or physically hurt by a boyfriend or girlfriend. My name is Shonda Roberts, and I'm a survivor of teen dating violence, as well as domestic violence. I met my abuser when I was 15, I married him at 19, and I finally left him for good at 23. The first time he hit me, I was in shock. I was hurt, I was confused, I was afraid. But he also instilled a fear in me, which played a part in me staying for so long. An incident I can recall is one time we were moving from one place to the next, and we still had some things in the car from our previous house. We pulled up at a light, and he thought I was looking at someone else on the side of the street. So he reached behind the seat of the car, grabbed the house phone, and started to beat me in my head with it. I reached out for help several times, but I was not believed. Victims will probably reach out at least once. So if your friend, family member, or loved one lets you know they're being abused, believe them.
Laying down on my bed. This was one of the worst memories that I can really think of that happened during my domestic violence. There were many more, but this one I think was the worst. It happened when my husband commenced to beat my son with a belt just because he and my daughter was laughing and playing. He ran in the room and started beating them, and I ran in there to stop him, and he commenced to beat me. I told my kids, I said, go and get your clothes, we're leaving. I can't take it anymore. We're leaving. When they started, he stopped beating me, and I tried to run for the front door. He grabbed me, and he shoved me so hard into the wall that it put a hole in the wall. All I know is my kids were screaming and crying and yelling, stop. That's all I can remember. As he put his hands around my throat, and I was gasping for breath. All I could remember was seeing my 4 kids standing in the doorway screaming, stop, don't hurt our mother, stop, don't kill her, please. And all I could remember saying was, God, please help me. I can't do anything. I can't say a word. Nothing came out. I couldn't breathe. And all I could think was, God, I don't want to die.
I was Catholic for many years, married in the Catholic Church. And from that point, after being married, did I have to join the church of his choice. When I did that, we moved from one religion to another religion to ending up non-denominational. Through that process, I hated each move. I had no choice. I was told what to do, even how to pray, even how to worship. Disregard all of my beliefs. They didn't matter. This was it. This is how we're going to pray, and you have to do it. No ifs, ands, or buts. No comments. No backtalk. Furniture. Breaking up of furniture was his way of control. See, he was a big guy. He was 6'3", 350. And when your dining room table is being splintered, broken in half with no leaf, sets fear in you. And so you believe that power, that rage, if he splintered a dining room set, if he splintered all of the furniture in the house, what made me think that he wouldn't do that with me? So what did I do? I ended up moving, as he said, moving into the church of his choice, moving into the religion of his choice without question, all because of fear.
Hello, my name is Natasha Mason, and I am a survivor of domestic violence and child sexual abuse. It started at the age of 5 by my mother's boyfriend. It started out him first coming to my room and just looking at me. It progressed to him fondling. It went from fondling to penetration. I did tell my mother at the age of 7. She did leave him for a short period. She ended up back with him while I stayed with my grandmother for a while. After a few years, I ended up back with my mom. The abuse continued until I was 28. Between the years of 14 and 28, I had 4 children by him. I had other children. I was pregnant with other children, but I didn't give birth to them. I had abortions. 4 of the children were his that I had. And yes, my mother didn't know that they were his. And during all those years, I went through depression. I tried to take my life twice, once in my teens and then again in my 20s.
Good afternoon. I come to you today talking a little bit about domestic abuse. I am a 4th generation survivor. My mother watched my grandmother. My grandmother watched my great-grandmother, and my daughter watched me. It's up to you to break the chain of domestic violence. As a little girl, it was really hard to watch my mother being abused by both of her husbands, and I could do nothing. The first one threw her down a flight of stairs when she was carrying my sister. The second one abused her to the point where she didn't even want to live anymore. But thank God she's a survivor, I'm a survivor, and you can be too. I ask you to break the chain of domestic violence.
I'm Kirk Ray Smith, President and CEO of RCS Pinellas, proudly serving over 130,000 individuals on an annual basis. And we're really excited about our work. And as you hear more about what we do, you'll understand quickly that our mission is indeed noble, but the task is arduous. It's very difficult to do what we do each and every day. And while we appreciate the opportunity we have each day to serve as many people as that we do, we understand that the problems in our community continue to grow, and it's our job to be there as help restoration specialists to help restore hope to the hopeless and remind others that hope exists who once had hope. We also have a domestic violence shelter. We're really proud of the work that we're doing there because we're able to serve over 300 women and children annually. And again, we want to move them, not only put them in a position where they're safe from harm, but also set them up for self-sufficiency, because many times with abusers, they use the power of money, of economic strength, and they try to overpower their victims by scaring them into staying with them and making them believe that they couldn't survive without them. And that's a tactic often used by abusers. And here at RCS, our goal is to put women and children, DV survivors, in a position where they will no longer sort of be submitted to or subjected to that type of abuse. And so through the shelter, we house, again, up to 300 women and children annually. We also have an outreach center. Through the outreach center, we serve over 17,000 people on an annual basis. And we do this a number of ways through advocacy. We have advocates in the schools, in the courthouses, and at the police station, staff and volunteers. And again, the mission is noble, but the task is arduous. And we understand that domestic violence transcends economic status. Doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, or where you're from. In fact, every person that we serve here at RCS, they look like me and they look like you. And I will tell you this, that not only is domestic violence around physical abuse, but there's also emotional abuse that's just as dangerous. And there's many families and individuals facing that today in our community. And so our job at RCS is to address it, to really figure out ways, again, how do we get people in a safe position, a safe environment, and then provide them with the services and the programs that they need, that they can move on to self-sufficiency, so they'll no longer be subjected to that type of abuse and that type of behavior. And so for us, we continue to keep up the good fight, continue to work hard day in and day out. We want to empower survivors. We want to house the homeless, and we want to feed the food insecure. If you're in need of immediate assistance, you can reach us at our hotline at 1-800-500-1119. That's 1-800-500-1119. And also you can get information at our website at www.rcspinellas.org.
Hi, my name is Joe Battle from Tampa Bay Krav Maga. We teach self-defense here for men, women, and children. You can find us in Largo, Florida. Our website is www.tampabaycravmaga.com, or you can call us 727-585-5728. We teach men, women, children. We do group sessions and private sessions for people of all ages. So what we're showing right now is a front choke defense where the attacker is grabbing around the throat and trying to choke out the defender. The defender is going to be doing a choke defense. This works from a static position or a dynamic position, meaning it can work from either standing still against the wall or from someone shoving you backwards. So for the attacker right now, the attacker is approaching, grabbing around the throat and squeezing in this position. For the defender, what we want them to do is raise one arm all the way up so the bicep's tight to the ear, okay, and collapsing the hand on one side. She steps back with the opposite leg, strong rotation so it breaks the choke. The elbow is high so it's protecting the face. From here, they follow up with a side hammer fist to the head, right cross, kicking to the groin, scan, move away. Good. One more time. So choking, bicep to the ear, turn, side hammer fist, cross, kick, scan, and then she creates the space. So the next thing that we're covering, in Krav Maga, we have stuff standing, and we also work on ground techniques. A lot of times victims find themselves on the floor, so we have to find ways for them to get back to their feet and get off the ground as soon as possible. If it's unable to defend, we need to be very, very good at fighting. So we work on ground fighting as well as ground defenses and getting back to our feet as soon as possible. The next thing we're working on is a ground defense from the guard position. So from the guard position, meaning I'm in between the legs. This is a very common attack from a sexual assault position or where victims may find themselves or where defenders may find themselves. So our goal right now is to have a good defense. So from this position, when they're going in to choke or doing something from here, what we want to do is she's going to pluck with one hand to help release the pressure on the throat. The other hand is going up to strike the throat immediately. She's shrimping her hips out to the side, and one knee is going to go diagonal across the body. This helps create the push and pull technique, so now I can't reach with the other hand. The other one now, with this wedge, she's able to get her other leg into my hip, push off. From that position, she's kicking to the head, and then going away. Kicks, and then creates space and moves.
Things man can do to prevent gender violence. We have to approach gender violence as a man's issue, not just a woman's issue. Realize it can involve men of all ages, races, and socioeconomic levels. Realize man can be empowered bystanders and comfort abusive peers as well. If someone you know is abusing his female partner or is disrespectful or abusive to girls and women in general, do not look the other way. Try to talk to him about it if you are comfortable in doing so. Urge him to seek help. Now, with that being said, question your own attitudes and language. Could they be inadvertently perpetrating sexism and violence or be hurtful to someone else? If you are emotionally, psychologically, physically, or sexually abusive to women, or have been in the past, seek professional help now. Learn more about gender inequality in differing societies and about the root causes of gender violence. Educate yourself and others on the issue. The healing process begins with you.
Hi, my name is Renee Jones. You can call me Hope. I am here today to thank everyone for coming out to this wonderful PSA for domestic violence. As the other women, I am a survivor as well. But I don't want to talk about me, because I've already went through the black eyes, the busted lips, pressing charges, going to court, hiding out, running off, and going back to the abuser. That's normally what we do. Only until we get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Only until that last beat down, almost killed, and thinking about our children and our lives is when I decided to surrender. What I want to talk to you all about is the stigma. Don't believe it. Do not let anyone put that stigma in your head. You know, the stigma that say, oh girl, he got a good job. Bear with it. Why don't you just leave? Why are you putting up with that? Oh my God, is it that serious? Are you talking about, you know, all those different things, different words that everyone uses. And if you think about it, those are the same people who have no idea of what you're going through, what you've been through, and how controlling it is. I know some of us, and some of you, have walked on eggshells in our own home. We want to make sure the food is just right, the clothes is folded right, I'm home on time, the kids is quiet, all of that. But the main important part of this whole PSA is to make sure that you're safe. Put your life first. Give yourself a break. Remember, when you hear them say, if you leave me, I'll kill you, and they're going to say it, and they probably say it, what, every other day. And don't think, please, do not think that they won't, but have a plan. Because the first time they hit you, they got you, if you don't walk away at that time. And I know it's hard. It's hard. It was hard for me. He started mentally controlling my mind, took me away from family and friends. I was in some community I had no idea. I had to quit my job. He came up to my job. He dragged me off my job. So I understand. But please, believe him when he say, if I can't have you, nobody will have you. When he say, if you leave me, I'll kill you. Now walk out that door. Believe him. He's telling you what he's going to do before he do it. So what I suggest and what I did, I took proper steps and took a plan. I created me a plan. And it's a plan that only you should know about. You and your God. That's it. That's it. For me, what I did, when I had to go to the store, he would give me money to go to the grocery store. I don't care if it was 10 cents or $10. I hid every little dime I had. I started taking little things out of the house that he wouldn't miss. I started going to see other places to stay. I started reaching out to people like the organization that you just heard about, you know, like RCS. And here in Tampa, Florida, there's plenty. And as a domestic violence survivor and advocate, I'm here. I am more than willing to help you with that escape plan. Listen, it's a secret. I call it the Great Escape. Because once you create this great escape, when he get home, you'll be gone. But I'm telling you now, when we work on this great escape, it's going to be scary. You'll be alone. You don't know what to do. You're not used to doing anything. You're afraid to call the police. You're afraid to call your parents and your family. You don't have any friends now. But just hold on. Stick to your plan. Because I am here to tell you that if God saved me, I know He'll save you. So again, I am Hope Speak, and I am here speaking hope to you. And I will continue to speak hope until you learn how to speak for yourself. You can find me on Facebook under Hope Speak, or you can email me, hopespeak4@gmail.com, and you can look at my website, www.ispeakhope.org. And I'm here. Just remember, you're never alone. But the main important part, are you safe? Ask yourself that question. Are you safe? Is your children safe? So, reach out to me. I'm here to speak hope to you. Thank you again for coming out. Thank you for this PSA of domestic violence. We appreciate everything. And don't forget,